So let's continue from where we stopped last time. So until now, we build the menu, we build the hero section, and we build this company's logos section. Next step is this divider that is used all over the website. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to export this image, and you can also see that this image have um, three layers, which is the image itself. It's the image, which is grayscale, black and white, and we have another layer that is this is brand boxes that we already created here. We will reuse it, and there is some overlay color. But instead of to export to use each layer separately, I will export the image with the overlay color, but without these brand boxes. So basically it's this one. Okay, you can see that I was hidden, or you can remove these brand boxes there, and then I want to export it. But here in the preview you can see that the color tone is a bit different. This image is darker, so we have the option to ignore overlapping layers, and then it will match what we have here. And I always like to export a good quality of images, like bigger at least twice than what is appear in my design, so we will get a very sharp image on the live side. So let's export this one and let's upload it to our new section. So let's give it a name very quickly, which it will be our services. So this is our section. Let's call it it's actually a section header. You know what, let's just call it our services. All right, so simply I will drag an image and not use background image for the section, because if you remember, we have this max width, and background image for section, it's not included in this limitation. So I will drag in a component and stretch it. Right now the section height is not accurate to our design. We will fix it later. So let's change the image, and this is part of our brand, because actually no, because we have a different images. We have different images. Okay, so let's create a new folder, which will be homepage. So here we will set all the assets for the homepage. Let's add this image. All right, it's pretty sharp. Great. So next thing we need to do is to create this title and paragraph. So let's copy this value. It should be below semi-bold 48 pixels. So we need a title. It will be H2. 48, we are not dealing with text scale. The value will be our services, and it will be medium, right? Semi-bold, sorry, semi-bold. Now it's pretty silly to set this font size all over again, right? So what we will do, I want to set it I want to set it to be heading 2, because this is our style for heading 2. So let's update the style. Okay, so if I'll change it to heading 1, basically it's this size, and if it will be heading 2, now we have the right sizing. Great. Now we need a paragraph, and this is the second thing that we are going to set as to the site theme, and the value will be this one, and it should be below regular 18 pixels. So this is the value, 18 pixels, no text scale, below regular. Great. But I saw that we have here some minus letter spacing, so let's add it. Minus 0.06. No, this is way too much. Up. I think this is good enough. It's not, I don't know actually how to calculate it, to be honest. Alright, so 18 pixels, great. So I want it to be paragraph, let's say, okay, let's check. So here, this is 18 pixels, and this one was 22 pixels, and this one is 18 pixels. Oh, and this one is 20. Okay, so we have 18, 80, 20, and 22, right? So, okay, so this one will be paragraph, let's set it to be, where is it? Typography. I want to set it to this paragraph, okay? So it's paragraph 1, paragraph 2, let's set it to, it will make me work harder, but in the future, when I want to create some changes, it will make my life much more easier. So let's set it to be 1.2, for example, below regular, 22 pixels. Great. Now I can change it to be this paragraph. Below regular, 22 pixels, 22 pixels. Great. So in tablet, we should update it to be 16 pixels. Great. And in mobile, it's not exist. So now what I can do, I can copy this element style from all breakpoint and paste it like this. Great. So now if I want to, for example, change font size or color, I can do it like once from there, and it will affect everything, as you can see. Okay, so we set this one. Now let's set we set also this one. This should be paragraph 2. So this should be 18 pixels. Okay, so now let's go and update the style. So we set also this one. Now let's set this one to be oh sorry, I forgot. Now this should be 18 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels. So it's make more sense to, let's do 20 pixels and 1.3, for example. And now let's update this style. It will be 20, and the last one will be 18 pixels. Great. Okay. So Let's back to our design. This should be 18 pixels, so we need to change this one to paragraph 3. Great. Now let's tag them together. And I want this heading to be 100 percentage, because if we had more content, there is enough room. It's H2, great. This should be paragraph. This is for accessibility and SEO, best practices, and this should be aligned to center, same as this one. Great. Now we need to measure the distance between them. It's 14 pixels. So let's go to change to solid pixels and 14 pixels. Now we have some height, right? Some margin. This text basically is set the height of this section. Potentially, if I'll add more content, as you can see, the section is growing. This template is built so good. Okay, so 120 pixels from top and the same value from below. So I love to use padding instead of margins. So let's set it to 120 pixels all over the place, and it will float in the middle. Now we need to check how much padding we have from left and right. Actually, I think this is we can set it to be actually, let's say it's 300. Let's keep it that way, and I'll set the stack to be 100 percentage. Okay, something like this. So no matter what size, my screen size, it will be at least 100 pixel padding from all around. Now let's take the section, and we need to remove the minimum height that it has by default, which is some value. Let's change to FR. So now basically we are getting exactly the same results that we have in the Figma. So if I'll add more content, my section will grow. Okay, exactly the same behavior. Great. Now quickly, let's go to let's add another section because everything is so low. So it's behaving great. Okay, we are missing these lines. So again, we can copy them from the section above. I don't even need to look for it. I can copy it from the vertical line and paste it right as a child of the section. So align it to left and top. Height will be 100 percentage. Let's duplicate it, align to right, top, and it's right there. Great. Now let's jump to tablet and set the font size. We are copying the same value as we have to the small desktop. So this one will be 38 pixels and the text will be 16 pixels. And 16. Great. Now the padding is too much. We need to update it. So it's 100 pixels from top and the same from bottom. So let's set it to be 100. And because it's tablet, so it's smaller than this size. So we have some text wrapping, but I think it looks okay. Just you can see that the paragraph, when I'm copying it directly from Figma, something is not quite right. So the way to paste text without any formatting from different software, you can click Command Shift and V, and then this is like plain text. Okay, so it's very clean. Let's check our gaps. It's still 14 pixels. Great. So quickly let's go to mobile no, it's 10 pixels. Sorry, I was on the wrong breakpoint. 10 pixels. All right, so mobile now, the a heading 2 is 28 pixels and the paragraph is 14 pixels. 28 and 14 pixels, and the padding is 50 pixels. But now we will change the left and right, because here we have explicit value. It's 16 pixels. So 16 and 16. Now the gaps between these two, now it's 6 pixels. And we done creating this section, and we are going to reuse it all over the place. Okay, amazing. Now we are going to build this card, which also, if we will build it correctly, we will save tons of times later. So I will say that I will build it using a repeater. Why? Because if we check the design, we can see that we have same layout and same elements, but different content. So only the icons are different, and the values, right? So if I'm using a repeater, it's give me it boosts my work by allow me to duplicate it super quickly, and also use different layouts in different breakpoints. And also you can bind it through database, and if you want to have dynamic data, this is the best tool to use. So let's start. I won't export all the logos and everything because I don't want to waste a lot of time, but maybe I'll do it on my spare time, but let's see. Okay, so first of all, let's export this icon, and we will export it as an SVD. If I would have more time, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe I'll try to create it from scratch in the editor using gradient or something. But the tricky part is this border that has also gradient. So I think we will need to use CSS for it. And I don't want too complex things. So let's simply export this icon as an SVG, so we can get like a vector element that is cannot be pixelated. And we will put everything inside a container. So usually it's common that you are adding a repeater and then put all the elements directly inside the repeater item, but I don't like this way. I like to wrap stuff in elements in a container and then paste it inside a repeater item. Then I can, if I did a mistake, I can drag it out. If I want to duplicate it or something like this, I can work with the container itself and not the repeater item. So now let's drag an vector, and then I will go to home page, and inside the home page I have icons. So let's upload it. This is this icon. All right, so what's the size of this icon? Is 88 pixels by 88 pixels. So let's set it to great. And okay, so we need to build it in the smart way, because we will reuse it across all sites. all site. Okay, so here the layout is super simple. It's elements one above each other or below each other, right? Super simple. um, but if we will, I'm always going to mobile to see if we have some layout change, and here you can see that the title is no longer um, below the icon, but it's next to it. So I will prefer to use grid instead of stack, because grid allows me to um, the flexibility of different, to set different grid settings in different breakpoints. So in desktop we have 3 rows and 1 column. Okay, so we will set it very quickly by going to apply advanced CSS and set 3 columns just like this. Okay, so the first column should be at the same height as the icon. So this first row can be max content. Okay, this one should be 1FR. Okay, so now we need a title. And this will be the H2 H3 title. So let's set its design to the theme. It will be Barlow semi bold with 30 pixels. So I will go to heading 3, and I already forgot 30 pixels, Barlow semi bold. So semi bold 30 pixels, no text scale, and minus 0.01, something like this. Okay, and this one will be the title, and it sits on the second row, aligned to top left and 100% width. And I forgot to update the style, so let's update it. Great. Now we need a paragraph, so this one will be 18 pixels, right? Which we already set this site theme, so quickly I can change it to 80 pixels, and there we go, we have it. So align it to left top 100%. And we have this button, so we need another row, which I forgot to add. So let's quickly add like this, and let's set the button. So if you remember, actually here it's not relevant, but anyway I will do it this way. If you remember here, I used a wrapper container to set the element width to be very responsive. In our case, it's always 100%. But if you used this template and you want to change the buttons to be same as the content, so it's already, you have the structure to do it. So let's copy this button. Let's copy it and paste it right here. Oh, it's did something else. Okay. Oh, what's up here? It's not centered. Yeah. Okay. So let's paste it in our container. Now, this is something that many confused by. If you look here, all the buttons are at the same position, no matter how much line of content we have here in the paragraph. For example, here we have one more line about from of this, and the button is still at the same line. So we will see how to do it. So for now, I will keep it that way. Okay, I will align everything correctly. I will set now. Right now, I'm on the button wrapper. You see, the name is also copied from here. Okay, so so now it won't be a max content. It will be 100%. Okay, and the button also will be 100%. Now we need to adjust the style. So this gray, I hope we already have it. It's to 6, and the height is 16 pixels. So height 16, and the color should be to 6, which is this one. And the label will be white. Now quickly I will goes to the hover, and I think this is good, but you can see that we have some transparency. Actually we don't. Okay, so I think this is good enough. Do we have border? We do have border, but here, okay, we need to match the border to be exactly the same as the default state. Okay, now we need to check that the border radius are accurate, which is 8 pixels. Corners, yeah, it's good. Okay, so this is our item. Now I'll add it to a repeater, and then we will fix the general layout. Now before I'll do it, I'll change this one to description, and this will be it's kind of a placeholder label. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to add a repeater. So this is our repeater. Let's align to left, top 100%. We don't need this, actually maybe we'll do, but for now we don't need this background color. And simply I'll drag this container inside our repeater item, and now it's clone itself. So quickly I'll stretch it. Okay, so now this content wrapper is stretched inside the repeater item. Okay, great. Now we need to we need to set the grid rows, and then we will handle the spacing. So again, I will go to the column. It will be FR. The first row will be max content for the icon. The second also will be max content for the title, and the third one, now before I will go to the third one, the fourth will be again wait, you can do it in two ways. So the third one will be max content, and the fourth one, now you can see that our grid looks a bit broken, right? Because it's not continue to the end of the container height. So we will use the 1FR, which is units that I really love. Basically it says take the remaining space. Okay, all these rows are fit to the content, and this one said take all the rest of the space. Now you can see that all the icons are leveled, right? Before we'll take care of it, let's take care of the spacing. So here we can see the spacing between the icon and the title is 14 pixels. So I can set it as a margin for the icon, or a margin for the title, above or from top. But I love to use always margin from top. I don't know why. So let's set it to be 40 pixels. Now we have a different value between the label, the title, and the description. So let's see. It's 20 pixels. So again, we are pushing from top 20 pixels. Now this is tricky because you can see that here the gap is set to be auto. So basically what it means auto. To be honest, in Figma I don't really know what is auto, but here you look, we have 18 pixels, which mean that this is like the minimum gaps, because here you can see that we have more than 80 because we have less content. So let's set it to be 80 pixels. So let's take this button and add margin from top, okay, of 18 pixels. Okay, and let's see what's happened when I'm adding the real content. Okay, so let's copy this content for the first item and paste it right here, and for this one it will be right here, and the third one will be right here. Okay, so we can see that this is not the final layout. You know, it's not looks fine. We're missing padding and more stuff. But you can see now the buttons are not equal. Okay, so all we need to do is to change the alignment of the button. So instead of to push from top, so the docking right now is for the top. So it said I'm pushing myself 18 pixels from the top, and the top is this. It's based on the second row height, which is different between the element. So instead I will align it to bottom. Okay, so now you can see that way this is even worse, but I can set to the button push from top 18 pixels. Okay, it's still not there, right? So the reason, oh sorry, okay, I pushed the button. Okay, so I need to remove it. I need to, because I forgot the button is inside a button wrapper. So the button wrapper should be docked to the bottom, okay, and should push from top 18 pixels. So now the buttons are at the same level. Now we have some padding for this container, so let's add 50 pixels padding. So we can choose either and add 50 pixels. Okay, now it starts to look good, and also you can see that we have a line between the items. So again, I forgot the value, the color, which is this one, okay, to 6. So let's select our container and add border of 1 pixels. I will remove the scale properties, and it will be okay. It's already there. Okay, so now, but you can see that it's we have gaps. We need to get rid of the gaps because we need to have single line. So let's select the repeater and remove the gaps. Also, I don't need the repeater to scale. Now look what's happened. We don't have gaps, but we have double of size of the border. Okay, so the reason is that this container has border and this one also, and because they are close to each other, so basically it's 2 pixels border. So what we can do, we can take our container and give it like -1 pixels from left, for example, -1 pixel Okay, so now basically they are overlapping each other 1 pixels, and then you are left with only 1 pixels like stroke all around. Now we do have a background color which we don't need because the color is the same as the section color. So let's get rid of it. And also from the item, no, the item doesn't have it. We do need to make sure the item doesn't have its own height. Great. And you can see that the item is with fixed width, which is super not responsive. As you can see, we want it to be responsive, so we will go to the repeater and set amount of items per row, which should be 3. Now the item should be changed to auto, and let's remove the scale proportion, we don't need it, and the minimum height. This is always tricky, always check the row height. And now you can see as it gets, the wings are reducing, and then it starts to be responsive. Great. Let's copy the values very, very quickly. All right. Great. This looks good enough. Yeah. So let's also use the learn more for all buttons, so it will be looks nice. So the reason I put the placeholder is because when we are adding a new item, oh, it's duplicated, sorry, when we bind it to repeater data, so sometimes it skips the placeholder, and it's good that the placeholder will have with meaning, so so you know, it will be easier to understand. Great, so now let's jump to what's up here. Let's go to the repeater. It doesn't have any minimum height. Oh, the section has some minimum height, which we don't need. Let's go and get rid of it. And yeah, this looks good. Now let's go to tablet, and for some reason we have height here. Oh, basically it's because the content has not enough room. All right. So here it's not a tablet, so there is enough room. So maybe we'll need to make things smaller. So this one should be 16 pixels. The titles should be 24, and the button label 14. So this one will be 24. The labels, let's do like remove overwrite. All right. So it will be 14 pixels, and the height of the buttons should be 52 pixels. Great. Still, it looks like there is no enough room. I forgot to update the icon to 70. So what we will do instead, because we don't really have design for tablet, let's update the padding to be 14 pixels. So I will change the layout to be overflow scroll. All right. So sorry, so to slider. And now what I can do, I can give more width to each item. Let's say 350 pixels, and I need to get rid of the height. Okay, so it looks much better. I think you will agree. And I can even reduce the gaps, 30 and 40 and 84. So uh, 30. I'm forgetting so much, too quick. 14 pixels. Okay, and the rest will be exactly the same. Now we can add also, because we have slider, we can, I don't want to see the scroll bar, but we can add scroll snap, and then if I'll scroll a bit, it will complete my scroll, which is a good experience. So this is, I think, a great solution for this layout. Now let's jump to mobile, and here we can either use this or we can follow our design, which is, I think, very nice. So it will be one below of each other. So we will go back to cards, and this is the flexibility that using the right layout will give you. So I will set one item per row, and you can see right here that this is it's not getting to the edge completely, but we have 16 pixels padding from both left and right. So I can either add it to the repeater itself or to the section. So let's go with the section. So 16 pixels from left and right. And do we have no, here we don't have also, but you can see that the problem is back, that we have 2 pixels here of a border. So we can go back to the content wrapper and remove the margin from left and add it to the bottom, and then we will have only 1 pixel. Let's adjust the sizing. So each, oh, here we forgot to change the layout. So 58 by 58. Title will be 20, 14. This one 20, this one 14 pixels. I think the button will stay the same. Yes. Sizing is okay. We need to change a bit the layout, because this title should be next to the icon. So, oh, padding 30 pixels. Great. So we need to change the grid a bit. We need to get rid of one row and add one column. So let's do it. First, we will add a column. I can draw like this. I can drag one like this. Great. Now I need to change this position of the title to be on the first row in the second column, right there. Okay. And let's align it to center like this. And now I need to get rid of the extra row that we have. We will fix the column later. We need to remove this one because we delete the content there. We move the content from there. Great. Now the first row, it should be exactly the same size as the icon, right? So it can be, because the icon is in pixels, it can be max content, and the rest will be 1FR. We'll take the remaining space. Now this one, we need to set it to be the margin for 24, and the button for also 24. So instead of put twice margin, because we know that the gaps are equal, so we can set it right here, 24 pixels. And the last, when we have height from the button wrapper which is pushing from top 80 pixels, we can remove it, and then it looks this nice. But we need also to have some gap between the title and the icon, so we will measure it. It's 14 pixels, and we can add it to the gaps right here, 14 pixels. And there you go, we have the layout for mobile. Amazing. I just need to make sure that I don't need any gaps here from top. No, it's pretty, it looks good. Oh, wait. The divider should have padding also, which I didn't do. So let's go to this section and add padding of 16 pixels from left. See, sometimes we are missing stuff. Not we, I missing stuff. Okay, now it looks amazing. I think, yeah, this one also. 16 pixels, 16 pixels. Now it looks good. Let's see if we miss something in the hero section. No, this is good. All right, amazing. Super exciting. So this one was how do I call it? It's our services, and this section will be our services content maybe. So let's choose this section and give it a name. So this will be content. Amazing. So now imagine that this layout is so much similar, almost exactly the same. We will do it right away. So divider, we don't need to work anymore about dividers. We can simply duplicate it, drag it right here, and change its name to, we choose square up. All right, this will be the value. I won't change the image because you understand that this is super it's not so important, but we forgot to add this pattern. So I will go to the original one, and I want to add a container with the pattern. So if you remember, we have this container right here. So decorative brand boxes pattern. So this one has class in it. So we can simply copy it and go right here and not paste it inside our stack, but it should be in a child of the section. I will paste it right here and drag it below the image, between the image and the text. And all I need to do is stretch it. And then we have the pattern. And it's working great all over the breakpoints. So because I forgot to do it, I will do it also right here and stretch it also. Great. So now let's use this layout to build this content. So let's duplicate this content, our services content section, and move it right here and choose it and change its name to this one. All right, so remember what we've done in mobile, that we changed the layout. So here we need to do it also on desktop. So it should start from desktop, like the title is next to the icon. So again, let's do it. Let's drag another column, and we will set this column sorry, we need to get rid of this row, but first let's move the title to the top right cell. It should be at the center and aligned to left. And let's delete the extra row that we have, this one. And we will need to set the first columns to be max content, same as the icon width, and 1fr for the second column. Now the gap between the title and the icons is 20 pixels, so we can set it from here, 20 pixels. And we don't have a button. The gap between this description and this content is 40 pixels, so we can set it right from there. But we don't have a button, so we can delete it, but actually we need to delete the content, the button wrapper. So let's delete it, and we need to delete the extra row that we have, which is this one, sorry, the last one. But I always love to keep the last row 1fr, so my grid won't be looks broken. Okay, I think everything is set. Now we need to make sure that it's applied all over. Now because we copy it from here, so we have we inherit the layout also from here, which we have here we have 4 rows and 1 column, so you can see it's applied also here. So we will quickly fix it. This one should be here. Oh, sorry, I need first to add a column. This column will be max content. Let's do it as we did before. I know why it's happened, but anyway. So just like this column will be max content. The second one will be 1fr. This design should go right here. It should be with no margins. This one should be right there at the second one, and we need to get rid of these extra 2 rows. So let's delete you, and let's delete you, and the last one will be 1fr. Looks good, right? And let's go to mobile very quickly, and we actually, okay, so again we inherit exactly the same settings from there. Actually we are, oh, this is jump right there. So this one we need to drag back to its position. So look how important it is to give names. So I can do it super easily. It should be above, just like this. Alright, so all we need to do is to remove the extra row that we have, and 1fr, the last one. Look how quickly we set the next section. We are getting progress. Oh, but I forgot something. Now here, instead of 3 items, and this is also the power of using the right tool, I need to have, I don't need you, I need to have 2 items in a row. And we have 4 items, so we can simply go and add an item. And now everything is working amazingly. This is awesome. Did we update the size of the icon on mobile? It looks big. We do. All right, so look how much progress we gain. How much time do we are on the clock? I don't remember. Okay, so basically we finished these 2 parts. and I think it's reused. You see, it's very similar. Everything is very similar, very beautiful, nicely done. Um, so, in the next one, we will continue to build this card, which is a bit more complex, and actually this layout is unique, and I'll show you how to do it in a way that if you have a lot of content here, um, the we don't have this situation, but the open website will jump right down, and we have enough space for a lot of content. Yeah, we have more interesting stuff on the go, on the way. Um, but we didn't check the live site to see how it looks. So let's do it very quickly. We have we gain a lot of progress, and things looks very good. Let's check the mobile. Pretty nice, right? Let's check the tablet. Oh, no. Let's check the tablet. So here we have the scroll, remember? Also right here. Amazing. Alright, so this is for now. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, keep building amazing websites on Wix Studio.